it's really important that we acknowledge these kids are born with so many amazing gifts. We need to teach them how to connect with themselves, how to restore their energy, how to hear their hearts, hear their gifts, hear their minds, and know how to connect with their hearts continuously, right? Because as these amazing kids are coming in, they're connected. They are so spiritual. They're seeking spirituality. My kids are right now asking me, how are babies born? How do babies happen? What is going on with that? Mom, my 7-year-old, they're wanting to know what is going on spiritually. Tell me about being a human. Tell me about space. Tell me about how the planet was formed. Hi, conscious parents. It's Carrie here, and I am here with a little info about raising our mindful kids. I've got some tips and tricks about breaking free of the box and becoming who you are and teaching your kids how to do that along the way. Join us. Hi there and welcome back. It's Carrie here, your friendly intuitive mama, and I am so excited to have a bonus episode, a little quick understanding of some of the pieces that are really helpful in my family and I think you could benefit with your family. So I wanted to talk about some of the ideas with gurus and spiritual development and some of the things that I have seen as positive, helpful tools in our house. I grew up with spirituality. My grandmother was Hispanic, and we had many generations of spiritual guidance, and it was just passed down in our family growing up. It was just a mindset. It was part of who we were. And these pieces of looking toward positive moments in our lives, looking at manifestation, believing in what we want to happen, and seeing that happen in our lives, these are all things that were passed down and pieces that my grandmother really believed in. And I believe my great-grandfather. Okay. So looking back, it was a piece of the puzzle that was really, really manifested in my life. And I definitely put it on the back burner when I was going to university because it wasn't something that was being thought of in that moment, right? You're looking at academics, and my grandmother was putting Eckhart Tolle and Edgar Cayce books on my nightstand and asking me to read A New Earth and all these other spiritual gurus. But when I look back, one of the things that I really want to instill in my kids, and I think it's so important to instill in our children, is the idea of connecting with ourselves. So yes, there are amazing spiritual gurus out there. There's amazing teachers and practitioners, and they have many different modalities and all these really neat different ways to connect with ourselves. So many of the pieces of that puzzle are tuning out the noise around us. Tuning out the noise around us so we can connect with our conscious mind and our subconscious mind, the pieces of us that we don't actively think are there, but are happening there, that are hearing the messages that we think in our minds, that are some of these pieces that have been instilled with us. Maybe sometimes there's energy that has been passed down from other generations. So it's really important that we are connecting with our kids. Number one, connection, right? Because if you are not connecting with your kid, you're not seeing where your kid is at. You're not seeing what challenges, what struggles, what daily challenges may arise, what amazing gifts they may be hearing in themselves or seeing in themselves, or maybe you're spotting it in them from the reflection that you're telling your kids. They're internalizing that. So when I was a kid, I heard from so many people, wow, kids really like you. You really have a way with children. And looking back, I now realize, hey, I did really have a cool connection with kids. And part of that was that I was in this mindset, in this pure state. I was vibrating or living in this happy essence and this happy-go-lucky attitude I had that everything was always going to be okay. I was always connected, and I always heard in my heart, things are going to be okay. And I didn't have a happy-go-lucky, easy life. I mean, I lost my father when I was a month old, and I received a really amazing father when I was 6 years old. But, I had transitions and hard times too, but I had it in my heart. It was just instilled. And I think it was generations, and it was also how I was taught spiritually growing up, is how to connect with ourselves. So when we're connecting with our kids, we're modeling what connection with ourselves can look like, right? When we're connecting with our kids, we're teaching them not only all these amazing things that we may hear gurus say. Maybe I could be a guru one day, right? I don't know. But I want you to have a takeaway. Even if I was a guru, I would want you to know that whatever tools are out there are amazing. But you are a human. And when we're living a human experience, especially as a highly sensitive person, as a neurodiverse person, as a twice exceptional, gifted and talented, gifted person, spiritual person, all of these things, we still have our human core. No matter how spiritual we are, how amazing we are, how grounded we are, we're still human. We still have experiences day to day that can rock our world, that can put us back into our minds, that can disconnect us from who we truly are. So, learning and understanding how we reconnect. Meditation is a huge tool that really helped me. Even when I did Reiki and learned Reiki, it still brought me into a deeper meditation. That was one of my biggest takeaways from Reiki, was the level of meditation that I could connect with in myself. So I could truly hear my gifts. So I could truly hear what I wanted in life. So I could truly tune out the noise. It was through meditation and grounding myself. So meditation is a huge one that I love to work with my kids. And I have an almost 10-year-old and an almost 7-year-old right now. So I definitely sometimes do 5 minutes of meditation. Sometimes, when we're going to bed right now, I started this with my daughter. I think I've mentioned it previously. You guys may have already heard this. We like to do a guided meditation at the end of the night. And I like to add in some energy work with it. We have been working lately where we picture a green ball of energy, and it's right at it's a sacral chakra, but describing that to a 7-year-old, I like to say there's a green ball of light spinning in front of us, and it's right in front of the tops of my legs. That's where your sacral chakra is. It's kind of how I describe it for a kid. It goes straight down into the earth, and it goes all the way deep, deep into the earth, into the core. And because my kiddo is 6, she's going through these changes. She's got teeth coming in. She's learning to read harder and harder text. She's learning to do harder and harder math, right? They're transitioning in their own ways, and that can cause a lot of emotions. So let me walk you through this guided meditation that we love to do lately. It's a little bit different than the previous one, so I love to try different things and keep it changing, right, for these little kiddos. So we have that green ball of energy. It's spinning at the tops of our legs. It goes straight down into the earth, where it connects deep, deep, deep into the core. And the earth, she's powerful. He or she, whatever you choose. She is powerful. So we send all of our big emotions, big feelings, fears, nerves, anything that sets us off from that day, from our lives, any you choose. It goes deep into that tube. It goes through that green tube, way down deep into the earth. And she can handle it because she's powerful and she's big. And then we can feel a green ball of energy comes up the tube, and it ends up right in front of our chest. And this green ball of energy, it waits there. It's a circle ball of energy in front of our chest. And then down, we feel this golden energy coming from the sun. This golden energy comes down. It's coming down around us, and it also really bubbles up in front of that ball, the green ball of energy. And the green or the golden energy are going to mix together. So we see the gold and the green ball of energy mixing together. And then it comes into our stomachs, our solar plex, but I use stomach with my kiddo. Our solar plex chakra, depending on the age, you can use different words, right? My 10-year-old, I can use the solar plex and start teaching him the chakras. So the green and gold energy, it comes into our solar plex and it fills our entire bodies, and we feel that love and kindness. And I think in my mind, what word am I feeling coming to me that my kid needs to hear right now? love and kindness. That's what my daughter needs to hear. So it fills her whole body with love and kindness. And then we see a big ball of energy come up from the earth, and it stops right in front of our chests again. We feel that golden energy coming down from the sun. It stops right in front of our chest with the green ball, and they mix together, gold and green mixing together and swirling together. And then it comes into our solar plex chakra or our stomachs, and it fills our body with, what is the word we hear? You choose. Love and happiness. It's filling our body with love and happiness. We're going to do that a third time. That green ball of energy coming up from the earth, the golden sun energy coming down from the sky. They're going to mix together right in front of our chest. We see that gold and green swirling ball of energy, and we pull it into our stomach, our chakra, our solar plex chakra again. We feel that love and patience filling our body right now. It fills our whole entire body. And then we say, thank you so much. Thank you for everything you've given me. We can add an affirmation in there. We can say, thank you for connecting to the universe, God, spirit, my higher source, whatever you believe in. Thank you for connecting me. Thank you for helping me to find who I truly am. Thank you for helping me to let go of today's energy and replenish my heart with what I need for tomorrow. And so it is. And then we tip our heads over to let out any of the extra energy that we don't need. And we're ready for the next day. So my key that I'm wanting to teach my kids right now is we don't need our gurus. Our gurus are awesome. It's awesome to have modalities. It's awesome to have the gurus. What we need in our lives that can keep us going day to day is that connection with ourselves, and teaching our kids how we can release the energy of the day, how we can restow or renew energy for our next day so we can take on our next day, especially as our empath, highly sensitive, neurodiverse, twice exceptional. Oh my gosh, there's so many labels, but it's really important that we acknowledge these kids are born with so many amazing gifts. We need to teach them how to connect with themselves, how to restore their energy, how to hear their hearts, hear their gifts, hear their minds, and know how to connect with their hearts continuously, right? Because as these amazing kids are coming in, they're connected, they are so spiritual, they're seeking spirituality. My kids are right now asking me, how are babies born? How do babies happen? What is going on with that? Mom, my 7-year-old, they're wanting to know what is going on spiritually. Tell me about being a human. Tell me about space. Tell me about how the planet was formed. If I am not receptive to help them grow, if I am putting them down for their amazing brilliance and some of the challenges that come with the intensity, they're going to be putting layers of protection around themselves. Do you think they're going to be able to tune in and be a conscious adult if they have those layers of protection? There's a lot of adults out there that may not be conscious right now, right? It's hard to maintain it, especially if you're a sensitive person living this daily life as a human. It can be hard to be a human. And we're definitely going to be putting up those layers of protection if we're not connecting with ourselves. So teach your kids this now. I am sending it out there to the universe that those that are meant to hear this message hear it today. Thanks so much for tuning in, conscious parents. Well, that's a wrap. Thanks so much for tuning in, Changemakers. This is Carrie. And if you haven't done a review for us, 5 stars and a little few words about what you've enjoyed in our podcast episodes, we would really appreciate it. If you guys would like to ever message me, I would love any questions you have or any feedback at info@hearttoheartlife.com. We also have a brand new website, which we're super excited to share. It's hearttoheartlife.com. Thanks so much for tuning in, and happy life, happy times, Changemaker families. Bye. Please remember that the information shared on this podcast is educational in nature and does not constitute licensed mental health advice. If you need such advice, you should speak with a licensed professional about your unique situation. Thanks so much, happy listeners.